Hello. So, hopefully the stream should be getting started shortly. I'm getting some last minute things set up for the stream, so if you're watching after the fact, that is what is going on at the moment. Let me turn on some music. And let me talk real quick. So, originally I was going to be doing a build of the 4x4 rock crawler. I ended up deciding against that and building the rock crawler on my own time. However, right now, we're actually going to build a 6x6. So, here is the 4x4 that we built, or that I built off camera, and we're going to be trying to reuse a lot of these components. Now then, I don't exactly have a plan going into this. I just kind of wanted to do it because I kind of skipped out on building this during a stream, like I was supposed to. So, with that being said, let me do a few things real quick. And the beginning of the transfer case. It's the rear axle that I expect to give me the most problems. The front axle, yeah. I guess we could use the front axle. But I'm going to leave it be for the time being. So this is the main component that I'm pretty much going to be stealing off of this one, which is the 3x3 engine, which has the forward and reverse. And get rid of that switch because that's just for the suspension raise. Basic gearbox, and, well, the start of the suspension. So, I don't exactly have a plan on how I'm going to be doing the rear axle. I think what I'm going to do is run this, just a drive shaft, all the way to the back of the vehicle, and then pull both wheels off of that. If that makes sense. Entity Gaming, I don't mind saying hi and stuff like that, but if that's your idea of a shout out, then there you go. So what's probably going to happen is, can I pull this gear upwards? I'm trying to think how I want to do this, because the problem is having the axle. I can't have the axle of the wheels be in line with the axle of the drive shaft, because when it's all on a lift, it's going to cause here, so that the drive shaft itself is higher, or do it on the axle so the axle is higher. I also need to get rid of that, because these are the old seat mounts from the Jeep. Boomerang suspension, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Leaf spring? It's already piston powered. And it's also in the name of the stream, Piston Crawler. So, I'm actually going to... I deleted that thing, but I kind of need that thing back. Let me roll this up and over. So, oh, come on. Oh, you dingus. Hey, at least it's the right way up. I'm going to put the gear here. This I can get rid of. That I can get rid of. I don't know how long the stream's going to be. mostly doing the stream because I kind of did the Jeep off camera, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. So I'm just kind of doing this to hopefully make it up to some people. All right, and let's... I'm gonna do this. Bring the frame back. I don't know how big I want to make this truck. I'm not exactly sure quite yet how big I want to make it. I'm gonna go with oversized, and then because it's gonna be pretty easy to downsize it if I don't like something. So I want one of these here. Nope, wrong way. There we go. And this can come over here. And this will be the drive shaft that brings from the engine to the, what is essentially the front axle. And these actually need to be up one. So I'm going to have to bring these up because this is going to have to clear for that axle. All right, that's intact. Hello. So there was actually, okay, no. Skadoodle, there's going to be a video up before too much longer actually on that. Because, well, because I did a video on it, I'm doing a video on it. You can watch the stream back, but I'm actually doing a video on... Let's see if it's going to fly away. Of course it is. Come back here. Kind of need to mount you in some way. There we go. So there's this one, which is the one that the video is focusing on, and then there's this one which I did the stream on. Basically, this is just a general improvement of the other one. I've done mods once or twice, but it's not something I take part in regularly. Yeah, I really don't use mods. Oh, as you can see, I'm kind of stuck on that, and I press 3, which gives me a bit more suspension lift. Just raises me about a block more. And if I hit, should be able to hit it right there. Oh, there we go. Oh, excuse me. I sneezed. And from here, I can actually just take the entire body off, and that's what the underbelly looks like. Well, it's slow because it's running a gear reduction and the pistons aren't at full speed. I'm doing it like this because it's supposed to be a rock crawler, and you don't want rock crawlers to be fast. Well, I guess there are some rock crawlers that are meant to be fast, but... Oh yeah, world cleaners. That's about it. I think that's the only mod I regularly use. Part of me wants to just rip components off of this, and that's going to make this a really short stream if I do, but I really want to do it. Alright, let me steal that. And that. There we go. That gives me an entire back axle to play with. Now, am I going to have clearance issues with the frame? Yes, I would, maybe. I can always bring this part out by 1. Hello. Yeah, I'm going to bring this out by 1. Because I've already built all these axles, I'm kind of cheating a little bit by reusing them on multiple creations. Because some of the intricate welds and stuff that have to be done to get like this joint here working properly is annoying. But it's all done vanilla. There's no blueprint editing. I also don't like blueprint editing. Alright, let's grab from there. So now if I power that piston, also need to lock one of these. There we go. This should give me one of my rear axles. I'm actually going to tone that down a little bit. That's a little bit too much ride height. I'm actually just going to steal another one of those axles, which I can steal from there and there. Oop, that was a bad idea. Now then, if I recall correctly, I should have already fixed this up so that I can... No. Of course I can't, because I gotta flip that axle. Not really. Didn't really require that much math. Alright, let's see. I need to take that suspension off. And I am probably going to have to reverse that joint. Yeah. So let me put this joint on a lift. I'm pretty much speed building this by reusing components I have lying around. get to that weld point. There we go. Somehow, oh, I need to put this on lift. Darn it. Yeah, it's going to be 6-wheel drive. And even though I cut the front axle off, I'm probably going to just re-strap one of those axles to it. I kind of want to build it so that it's actually back here. So this axle is going to have the suspension back here, so I can clear up as much room as I can where the cab is going to be, or planned to be, I guess. So go ahead and put the wheels. We could also use this time to test to make sure that the axles are driving in the proper direction. Even though these don't have suspension. Alright, let's not run it. Come on, not run it in reverse. For me, piston-powered vehicles are not something I try to make fast. Okay, I need to make better gears. Because these suck. Let's see how well that drives. Oh, my engine's not. There we go. Alright. We just don't have a gear there. These gears really suck, don't they? Alright, so now we should have... Oh, come on. What's binding? Is it... the axle? Where's the engine just bound up? Oh, it's the engine's bound up because of the... Alright, these just suck. Okay, so the axles are rolling in the correct direction. That's nice. You call it math, I call it trial and error. That wasn't what I was anticipating, but that works. Oh, I just disconnected that axle. Oops. And of course the lift has to be right where I don't want it to be. Do I have a mounting point somewhere back here? No, I don't. Alright. we go. So now, oh, I forgot to fix the whole pass through on this axle. There we go. So now we should have power going to the 4 back wheels. Now we just got to get the suspension set up on these. Which, like I said, I'm going to try and send back here so that the English, I can't speak it. So that the suspension itself is out of the way of the cab. Hi. Actually, wait, this one needs to be, these need to be on the actual. All right. But I can't do that right there because that's going to be right in the way of that axle's rotation. All right. Interactive. There they are. Now this one's going to be there because that's going to be my locked bearing. I got fiber. I should be fine internet-wise if it's stream lagging. Let me do that so I can actually get under this thing a bit easier.
So now, assuming I did this somewhat correct. There we go. So now we actually have a there we go. Now this drives and reverses. So by continuously reusing the things off of this one, I'm just going to steal the front axle, which was already there. I just cut it off to kind of, because I wasn't sure if I was going to use it or not. Yeah, just for saving time, I'm going to use it. That might be cheating to some people, and it is even cheating to me, but I really not in the mood to deal with that right now, so. Ooh. Someone subscribed, thank you. I really just want to get this up and moving as soon as possible because I want a 6-wheeler piston-powered vehicle with full suspension. There we go. And since it was attached to the same motor, aha, done. Ooh, ooh. Okay, this needs, no, it's this one. This one needs to, I'm at the rear axle. Where am I at the rear axle? Front axle. This needs to go there. Frame rate drop. It's so glorious. Oh, and the frame rate has completely crapped itself. So let's see if we can mitigate this a little bit. Since this one doesn't need a bearing there, let's go ahead and get rid of that bearing. Since this one doesn't need a bearing there, let's go ahead and get rid of this bearing. Okay, a little bit better. Since this one doesn't need a bearing there. Alright, let's go ahead and mount the driver's seat. Which I should be able to mount it there. So that these wheels aren't free floating anymore. Alright, I think I increased those a bit too much. I'd like those rear axles to have been closer though, because they're pretty spread out right now. All right, so now this thing does lag. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I really don't expect this not to lag. Just because it is a 6x6 off-road vehicle with full suspension, it's going to lag regardless. It's that large gear under there that I don't like. Because that large gear is what catches on everything. I could really only bring that rear axle in by one more block before I'd start having issues. And I'm not sure how much closer I can make those two axles at the rear without causing binding issues. The front axle rocks. See? That middle axle isn't always touching the ground, so I'm going to reduce the hopefully get a bit more springiness in that very back axle and the mid axle. Try and help with getting all 6 to touch at the same time. You aren't very springy. So, first off, I'm really not happy with this. Well, I did get it working pretty quickly because I'm reusing components. The performance, especially of that rear axle, is disappointing to say the least. So then, I think I'm going to keep the whole front of this vehicle, but I might just chop off the rear. Whoop! And there we go. So, let's go ahead and chop off the rear. Alright, that can go. We need to redesign this rear section because this is unacceptable. That should be it. Disconnected yet. So, that is garbage. What I'm tempted to try. I got an idea. I'm trying to think through it though real quick before I do it. So this is staying. This part is staying. I'm just going to build the rear axle separately. And then we can kind of toy with other ideas. But I do need some of these axle bearings. So I'm just going to steal the axles. There we go. And these can go away. Search up boomerang suspension, go to images. Boomerang suspension. Oh. Okay. I could do something like that, but that's not what I had planned. It kind of would make things easier. But it's also not exactly what I want to do. But now that it's been shown to me, I kind of want to do it. I'm just trying to think how I do it efficiently. I've done similar suspensions, but not with pistons. Part of me wants to try that boomerang suspension, even though I was planning on something else. I was planning on pretty much linking these two axles together. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's try boomerang suspension. Let's try it. I won't need that axle then. I just need this one. Actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this. Because I'm thinking I could probably modify that other one. That is gonna cause some issues though when I do that. I'm just trying to think through how this is gonna work. Because with that, on the end of this, I would need something like this. However, through this, I would need however, to get that spacing, I would have to either put specialty gear on there or try something else. So I'm trying to think. Let me think how I want to do this. Because that would be there, and then I would have the gear essentially just literally on the wheel itself. Or with the other one, I couldn't do that. Oh, see you, no sound. Well, not exactly sidetracked, it's just a different idea, different concept. I wasn't thinking about doing it like this. Because the problem is I would have to do this. Then that wouldn't fit because that wouldn't sit centered. But if I did it centered, then I'd have to use a different gear on the back of... I'm trying to figure out the rear axle. So I have two concepts of playing with, one of which is a boomerang suspension, which is something someone recommended to me. And the other one is just having two separate axles, which is probably what I was originally planning on doing. I did one version like this. That's fine, 6x6. And I didn't like the spacing, because I wanted these rear axles to be closer together. That way I can bring them closer to this front wheel. But instead, they're pretty much evenly spaced, which is not what I was going for. I was going for more like a semi rather than military vehicle. They're military style. This would bring the wheels closer, but I'd have to put different gears on the back just because of how these are spaced. I think I'm going to go back to this style. I don't want differentials because this is going to be a rock crawler. I don't want a diff slipping. Oh, see ya. Hmm. So now this should be able to rotate independent. Yes, yes it can. Well, it's gonna work like that, so. Because the drive shaft for this vehicle is off center anyway. It'd be better if it was centered, but at this point I don't care that much. Excuse me. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Move. Damn you. All right. Hi. All right. I'm going to bring this in by a little bit. I'm actually going to bring these in and down. These will just run to the front a little bit more. Yeah, this is for suspension stuff. Alright, we'll see a nat track. Alright, that's the closest mount I have. Ooh, that's not supposed to happen. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. Oh yeah, I just realized I never linked the gears for these back axles. So yeah, this axle's been running with no power this whole time. Ooh. Let's see if we can find where that extra one's supposed to be. There we go. Now I should be able to put it now. If I can get in there. There we go. Wait, don't tell me that that axle is being spun reverse. That's a miscalculation. The axle's being spun in reverse. Here, that wheel, that wheel. Oh, those, they're just bigger, but they have less friction, so they work for ground clearance issues, but they're not the optimal wheel. I also don't like the way they look, so that's also a minor thing. Wait one moment. What the fuck is this? No, that was unintentional. No, I'm not putting a differential on a rock crawler. Can I move that wheel backwards by one? Yeah, should be able to. Pretty easily, actually. Why didn't I save? Why do you not save before doing it? Well, because I kind of understand what's going on here enough that if I break something, it's pretty easy to put it back together at this stage. Where something like a tank, if you mess up a tank, you're going to explode a lot of stuff. This, if I make one wrong deletion and kind of, oh well, I can figure out how I built it. Like, I can just rebuild certain components pretty easily. Whereas tanks, you kind of clean the slate if you mess up. Oh, this thing is really top heavy. Like, really top heavy. You know, let's kind of push the envelope for... There we go. For the actual, like, suspension here. And let's increase these, because these are keep getting compressed really fast. The problem with that then, if I start adding weight, I've messed with that with the 4x4 rock crawler. The issue with that is that you really start to put a lot of torque on the engine for doing those like really... Oh wow, this thing, I just spun this thing on the spot. You start to put a lot of torque. What the fuck is this? So you put a lot of stress on the drivetrain like that, and yeah, let me turn these down a bit. It doesn't always help as much as you'd like it to. I'm actually gonna try to extend this, see what this does. See if that helps. Hello. I'm getting some pretty bad suspension glitches from this though, which is mildly annoying. Also, that front axle keeps getting lifted off so much so that I actually am having trouble steering. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to 4 and 5. Let's just raise those so that they're... Yeah, this thing does not have a turning radius, like, whatsoever. And no, I'm not going to add a differential. Screw that.
How did I get the thumbnail? Because I've built ones before. So this was a 6x6, but I've built 4x4s, and the thumbnail you saw was actually this guy, which I will be doing a video on here shortly, just with the frame removed. And a lot of components, like some of the axles and the engines and stuff, were reused in this one. So you can see it's the same engine from the 4x4 that I put into the 6x6. And actually, pretty much the whole front end is from the 4x4. I had to redesign the rear end to accommodate that 6x6 axle. I'm doing all right. I'm actually going to lower the speed of this a bit. Oh, torque. Oh, suspension glitch. That is a straight up suspension glitch. And I think it's this one. No? I'm afraid if I do that, the axle's just gonna, yep, do that. It's gonna roll. Gotta love the suspension glitches in this game sometimes, especially when they're not intentional. The weight's not going to fix the suspension glitch. However, adding a weight there may have done something, unless that is the... Yeah, I think that is a suspension glitch there, though, still. Let's make it so that front axle isn't as egregious. Yep, suspension glitch.
No, it's not boomerang suspension. Is Anit suspension glitch too big and or laggy? I don't know what you meant by that. Is a suspension glitch too big or anti-suspension glitches don't exactly exist that I know of. We're actually hitting a crisp 40 frames. I think it might be possible to generate thrust. I haven't done much experimentation with it. It's mostly used for rotational though. Oh, let me save this. And I did not load in my world cleaner, so I need to actually do that because there's actually a Jeep on this world. So I'm gonna just reload that with the mod enabled. Yeah, I could weld suspension glitches to wheels to do that. So let me. So 4x4. So this is the one I built last stream. Has an inline 3 piston engine that goes to a gear-based reverse/forward system. That was the main fault of this vehicle. Was that.
So, while that does technically work, it's really awful. As soon as you put it under any strain, that forward and reverse gear breaks. That's what fails first. So this has a logic-based forward and reverse, and the gears goes to a large gear. That way we have as much torque as we will ever need. And for the most part, it's pretty much an identical vehicle, at least suspension-wise and stuff. There are some modifications, but not enough to really warrant changes, I guess. This does its job. It does have some issues with rolling, like you see there, just because it's top heavy. And the third button, it can actually raise its suspension slightly. So yes, this I made off stream just because I wanted to do it. I wanted it. So I used this as a chassis and built the 6x6. So I pretty much used the entire front end, just copy pasted, and reused the axles to basically make this rear axle setup. So let's just try this. So this was something that the 4x4 Jeep failed at. See if this can do it with its longer wheelbase. Oh, we are slipping, but we did it just fine because we have that extra set of wheels at the rear. We don't have to worry about rolling as much, rolling over. So that is the big benefit of this design over that one, is the extra length helps prevent rolling and gives us some extra traction going uphill. Look cool with a truck bed, but a normal Jeep would be interesting as well. I want to put a truck on this, pretty much. A truck chassis, pretty much. So if you've seen my... here, let me grab the Lamb. I want to put something similar to that on it. Because this is my dual drive. This is my dual drive military transport truck concept. So this has a gas engine that if I press 1, it goes to an electric engine, and then we can start doing fun stuff with it. Then we go back into gas. Then we hit 1 and it goes back into electric. So yeah, this is the dual drives. This is why I love the dual drives. And go back into gas. Oh, see you, Skadoodles. Well, I wanted to build this rock crawler for the mechanical complexity of it. Yeah, the dual drives are amazing vehicles, but I wanted to make the gears and the drive shafts and stuff. I wanted that challenge. The other buttons on the vehicle, on the truck, are for like the radio and the horn. The other buttons for this is reverse. And on the Jeep, 3 would extend the
suspension slightly. So that, I'm actually really, really happy with that. The fact that it did what the dual drive did. Now the dual drive did it faster, don't get me wrong. But this also has significantly less clearance because of that gear train there at the bottom. What would happen if I made the engine faster? So I've already got this one. Oh, I forgot to turn it off. So let's just crank it up to there. I'm not going to go to full speed because full speed's when things start really getting weird. And just for shits and giggles, I'm also going to extend on my suspension a little bit. And I'm actually going to do that. Is that the correct one? Yeah. That's actually a bit problematic on that rear axle. Yeah, I'm not going to do that to the rear axle, after all. Yeah, the middle axle's not touching when I do that to the suspension. So this is just at a faster speed. It's just slightly faster. And we're probably producing a little bit more torque because of that speed, but hey, here you go. That metal wheel keeps lifting off. This is one of those issues where actually the speed is hurting me because that front end is lifting off because of the torque. And when it lifts off, I lose traction and I lose steering. So we've been up at a good 50 frames. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the 6x6. And we're going to go ahead and put a frame on this guy. Which is going to do a few things. One, it's going to add a bit of weight. And it should make it look nicer. But I'm debating, do I want to move that suspension piece so I can put that seat down here? Can I fit that seat down here? Actually, I might not need the... Because when I spawn it, it's going to do that, but then I shouldn't have to worry about it. Because that should never pop up and hit the seat. Might flex a little bit, but it shouldn't collide. That's what I needed to get to. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. As much as I don't like having the seat on that side, it's kind of necessary because of where the large gear is. Something's binding. What is it? Ah, it's with the edge of... Ah, crap. I do have to move this seat back by one. Which is kind of alright. Because I can move just this single spring back. Alright, I want to give it a little bit more suspension to that. No, I don't. However, I would like to run this bar elsewhere. That way I should be able to get a bit more pivot out of that front axle. Alright, see ya. Does the truck in the thumbnail have boomerang suspension? You know, I think it might. Okay. I just grabbed a random truck image, pretty much. Ain't gonna lie about that. Alright. Is there something that's lighter than plastic that also looks nice? I don't think so. Without making it out of cardboard, I'd rather not do that. I already looked up boomerang suspension. I'm aware of what it is already. I already searched it. I know it'd be even better to do. Where'd I put that pin? There it is. I'm just gonna steal the Jeeps. I want to steal this guy's body. And oh, that was not a good idea. I was gonna steal this and modify it. Because this entire episode is just me recycling parts. Yeah, the entire frame is just hold on by that one block, by the way. had to bring that rear what do I want to call that? Fender well? I need to bring that forward. I actually need to bring like this whole section forward by a block, so let's just get rid of that. I need to increase the suspension and stuff as a result, but I'm actually going to modify this even further. Because I'm going to give it a bed, and I'm going to get rid of this back half of the cab. I think that's where I want to. I do need to be careful because this will actually come up into this area. So what I'm going to do now is actually grab another one of these. Take this chassis off of it. And I want this rear fender. So I need what? 1, 2. Yeah, I don't know why I copy pasted that whole other Jeep if I'm just gonna do like this. There we go. All right. I've hit over 300. I'd say maybe 500 on this PC. Normally when playing, I'm running about 120. I've actually capped the frame rate at 90 so that basically I'm not overtaxing my system for no reason, pretty much, my graphics card. Because this is mostly a CPU dependent game. Keep getting in the passenger seat. Always get in the passenger seat. All right, let's increase this a bit. Thank you. Or it is going to be significantly more top heavy now that it has a chassis on it, and significantly more heavy. Which is already a problem. So I'm actually going to do some weight management real quick. I'm stuck in here. There we go. So what the fuck? All right. What's like the lightest thing here? I'm saying that's one, but I don't want to use cardboard though. Let's see how this looks. No, I'm not a big fan of that. That looks a bit better. I need to be careful here because, yeah, there we go. I knew I had some. This whole section underneath the tires, this can pretty much go away. Because the tires will mask this anyway. I keep getting in the fucking passenger seat. Oh, come on, I just need a little bit more torque there. So let's try and get rid of a little bit more weight somewhere.
Oh, he's in the passenger side. It's 12:48. Part of the problem I'm running into is I'm running this truck off of a 3-cylinder. And not a particularly powerful 3-cylinder, just a generic 3-cylinder. Let's see what we have in parts for weight. Any parts that I could get really low weights on? Right now I'm honestly just like doing weight reduction. Because it functionally works, it's just we can't climb some of the things I want to be able to climb with this. Solely because it's heavy. This thing is not a light vehicle. And it's actually starting to stress the engine to the point of failure. So what I'm trying to do here is basically lighten it up, make it a little bit easier to crawl with. Because it's running a 3-cylinder. Just 3 pistons are what's powering this entire thing right here. And this rock is kind of my, like, I want to crawl. I think I should be able to crawl over this rock. If I can't crawl over this rock, then something's wrong. So I'm just trying to get it, reduce the weight enough that I can get over this rock. Well, it wouldn't have been, it was just fine when we started this, but now that I've added the chassis and all that to it, now that's when we've started to have the issues. Or piston powered, not thruster powered. I've done thruster powered way before pistons were a thing. Yeah, I've done thruster powered long before pistons were a thing. Oh, almost had it. Almost had it. Actually, I want to get rid of this. I'm hoping. I'd rather just have that style of... Oh, and there we go. That's the engine locked up because we don't have enough torque. So I might have to remove that.
On my end, it's saying that the stream is fine. Oh no, I might have Austin powered myself. Yeah, I hate that being there, by the way. Let's do... Oh, the suspension just squatted. Actually, I'm going to make it so that it's not as stiff again. Where's the... I like the rear axle being soft because it looks nice when it's crawling over things and they're flexing and bending all over the place. Oh, see ya. This isn't an issue with the motor, it's the issue with clearance. I'm scraping that central gear. Come on. There we go, there we go, there we go. Up and over. And there she goes. Alright,
real quick, I'm gonna world clean because I think I got some parts lying around that's not helping my frame rate. There we go. Oh, see it. I think someone else said bye, I'm not sure. Let's head back over to that rock formation because we knew we could do that rock formation without the chassis, but with the chassis we may struggle a bit more because we have quite a bit more weight on us. It's 1 a.m. where I live. Oh, there's a tree there I hit. Alright, see ya, solar. Not really, because of how this is spaced. I would have to redesign the whole front end to make room for the engine. Alright, I'm gonna reduce a bit more weight. Oh, that does look kind of nice. Nope, I'm sorry, I just smacked my mic. I don't know if you heard that or not. If I did, I apologize.
Okay, we had a hiccup there. The engine kind of died for a second. All right, so weight saving measures. Wait, what? That should be far below the seat right now. Which one is that? That one's 6? Is it? 6. Yeah, that one didn't spawn correctly. What the fuck? Do I have any room to move the engine forward? Or that one forward? No, I don't, because it's going to collide with the big gear if I do. Alright, well, we got to move that back sideways somewhere. Don't know exactly where. It's because I have blocks inside of other blocks. That's the problem. I'm not sure if I like it with all these holes in it. Part of me is like, oh yeah, now it looks like the proper off-road vehicles where they modify the crap out of them. Part of me is like, this no longer looks like a truck. It looks like Swiss cheese. So I'm not sure where I sit on the looks of this quite yet. What? Dax Sab? What? Come on. Yes, this is stream. Come on. Come on, get a bit more life in the engine. Come on. There we go, there we go, there we go. Up and over. Well, I've kind of done what I set out to do, and that was to build a 6x6 rock crawler, and it's finished. It's working. It's actually working a bit better than I expected. Now then, the weight of the vehicle is a major issue. The inline 3 just is starting to break down at this weight capacity. So if I do make anything bigger than this, like a 8x8, which I doubt it just because of frame rates. However, if I do ever do anything like an 8x8, I will need something bigger. Inline 6 would probably be where I'd aim for, because I like the 3, the 6, the so on. However, an inline 4 may be possible as well. Yeah, there's power on all wheels. All wheels are driven in this guy. Here, let me crank it up. Oh, come on. Let me get my camera. Can I? Camera! Here, why don't I just turn it on? I'm actually sitting at 30 frames, and usually this sits around 40 or 50 frames. We're in the test branch, Dax. Because Scrap Mechanic is mostly a CPU-dependent game. So, I would expect the stream to be ending shortly because, well, the vehicle's done. I'm just driving around having some fun on some of these rocks and stuff. So I'm actually just going to do the outro so I don't have to do it at the end of the stream. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. So if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like. If you have suggestions, leave in the comments down below. Enjoy the channel, enjoy what I'm doing. Please subscribe, it helps out a lot. And right now, shares help the channel most. So if you do want to help the channel, please share this episode with a friend. I thank Black Kitten, who is currently in the comments, and Captain Bob for being members over on the channel and supporting me in that way. So without any further ado, thanks for stopping by, thanks for sticking around, and until next time, peace. I need to repaint that. Let me repaint that real quick, because I probably messed it up somewhere along the way. Yeah, right there is where I did it. Alright, I'm going to keep the stream going for a little bit longer, just to play with this a bit. No, big creations without joints can lag too. Kitten, I'm gonna have to say otherwise because I've had large enough creations where just blocks lag. Come on. Is the engine messed up? Because it seems like I'm not producing the torque I should. Here, let's grab just the chassis. Just the chassis. No. Okay, now that's properly. So the Crawler V2 is the correct chassis. Yeah, without the weight of the chassis, or without the frame, or what do you call it, the body, without the weight of the body, this is a really nice rock crawler. Yeah, you missed everything major. The build's kind of done, no sound. We're just kind of goofing around with it. So this is the chassis without the body. And then here is the one with a body. This is lightened up so it at least can still crawl around. This one's significantly better just because it's lighter weight. However, this can actually still do stuff and it looks decent. Oh, and there we go. Right on over. How did I make my cannons? I've got tutorials on them. So, okay, no sound. A test I did is there is a concrete block. Here, let me stop this. Here it is. That has a higher weight and actually a higher friction than tires. Okay? Significantly higher friction.
So I thought of making wheels out of these. Yeah, that doesn't really work. It kind of works, but also really, really doesn't. So, yeah. I'm not sure if friction would change anything, really. Now, if you could get it to a ludicrous level, maybe. I like how Kitten, I'm not sure if Kitten was roasting Dax's question or No Sound's question. No Sound's question was really good question. Dax's question was just a question of someone who's new to the channel and doesn't know that probably doesn't know that I have tutorials on my cannons. Quite a few different tutorials on them. Just go back down there and crawl a bit. Actually, let's go up this just because I can. I should be able to. I'm not sure if I can. It's kind of steep. Oh no, we're having no problem whatsoever. Not all of them. The DFST and the DFAMs are up to date. And even with the old ones, all you need is a lot more spud guns. They still technically work. You just need significantly more spud guns than 12, which is what I used to use. And I should say, even those technically still work. They're just much lower power now. I have, it's called the Marshall. Also, more barrels for more ammo isn't always the best solution. It is a solution. And, oh, yep, that's an issue with the Marshall. If you fire it too fast, the frame rate can drop and then things stop working. Interesting. They are like magazines. So KB, you just joined the stream and are kind of near the end. We built this, which is the frame of the 6x6, and this works wonderfully, like completely beautifully. Yes, I have a laser disabler. Here, give me a second. And then there's this one. Well, these two. One's just with a bunch of holes cut in it to help with the weight. This works as well. This is the one with the chassis on it. The problem is the weight of this chassis significantly decreases its effectiveness off-road. So it looks nice, and it can still crawl like this, but it's just not as good as that one just because of the weight. And delete. Does the Mark 62 have laser? I know I've put laser disruptors. I know the 59 has it. There they are. So if I hit 9, yeah, they flash and it basically messes with people's lasers. So if I do that, it works, and then the flashing is just for fun. Well, in the test branch, they actually made it so you can get level 5 pistons, and level 5 pistons are significantly more powerful than the old legacy pistons. So they kind of did help out the piston community by giving us more powerful pistons. So me and some other people did some testing, and yeah, like the level 5 pistons I think are like 3 times more powerful than the old legacy pistons were. I think an 8x8 is gonna go a little bit overkill for the like frame rate problem. Hey KB, don't worry, they updated scrap mechanics so you would have lost it all anyway. Yeah, so many of my creations were broken by the survival update, and I'm not kidding. Like, the Millennium Falcon that I spent 3 weeks on broke. So yeah, basically they changed a lot of things in the physics engine. So for the survival update, a lot of creations were broken. Especially like my tanks, all of my tanks were broken. Anything that had like wedges colliding, broken. And all of my flying creations were broken because they changed the weights of things and the power of thrusters and stuff. Have you made a dune buggy before? So this is my 6x6. My real name, please. Ralph John Toscano. So pretty much everything before the Mark 39. Wait, was it 39? Or was it 38? Yeah, the Seraph. So the Seraph and all the tanks before it were pretty much broken by this update. They still technically work, but they kind of don't. So like my Millennium Falcon, this isn't the finished version, but yeah, this doesn't work anymore. All of my flight computer stuff doesn't work anymore. I've updated them to work a bit. However, it's not a complete fix. So someone asked if I made a dune buggy. Me and somebody worked on a trophy truck and a few other things. You can call this a dune buggy, I guess. I kind of get what you're saying. I've never really shown this off just because I don't like to show stuff off that isn't 100% mine. Somebody built the majority of this. I helped him mostly with the rear axle and some tweaking on the front axle. What was it? The Coyote. This is also something I would consider to be a kind of dune buggy, even though it's more so inspired by trophy trucks. Just because the suspension it has under it. Yeah, I don't play with mods Entity Gaming, and the majority of my community doesn't either. So mods are really not an option for us. Aw, crap, we got stuck. So I've made engines, transmissions. I haven't really worked with differentials because they're not really needed. Like, I understand what they do and why they do it, but with scrap mechanic, just the friction, the way it works, differentials aren't the most useful item. Ooh. So if I go like the was it 20? See if I can grab it. There it is. So this, one of my piston creations, one of the most popular ones, and it's rolling away. It's because it starts in neutral. Alright, let's put it in gear just so it doesn't roll away. 4 should start the engine, and we are in first gear. Come on. Come on. Come on. For fuck's sake, go. Put it in first and second. There we go. Yeah, so this has first, second, and reverse. Some of the ones I've worked with have first, second, and... Why are we going backwards? No. First, second, third, and reverse. So, yeah. What the fuck part 200? Wait, where's... Oh! let's not use that one. Let's use 10. Okay. What the fuck 200 and what the fuck 10? Boing. Okay, we should probably move this because that will crash me. These are what I call what the fucks. They were a failed stabilizer system I was going to be using for planes and tanks and stuff. Yeah, they broke, and they kind of do this. So every once in a while, I like to send them loose in a world just to see what they do, because they're kind of funny in my opinion. Every once in a while, one just goes super fucking Sonic. Oh, there it goes. How do you make sure the pistons stay in the same direction? Not too sure what you're saying there, but... What were they? What did I call them? I gotta remember what I called these ones. Whack engines. I need to find the whack. That there is a piston engine dead center in the vehicle, by the way. No, this is based off a real world prototype. KB. I don't think the real world prototype went anywhere, but it did function. Yeah. What was your last question? I also wish so much that someone made gear mod with super small gear until a giant one. Do you know any that can make that? I know a lot of the like I think it was Durf and all them had a bunch of mods that had gears in them. Like the gears, the problem with those is yes, you can make very small to very large gears, but it just gives you gear teeth. It doesn't give you the actual gears, which I guess gives you some more flexibility, but it's just a pain because you have to sit and make the gear, like tooth by tooth. So, okay, explaining how this works. This is on a slope. You see how it's slanted there? Essentially, the timing of the piston is set up so that as it's passing the peak of that slope, it's getting pressed, it's getting extended. So of course, when you extend it, it wants to go to the area of least resistance, which is the bottom of that slope, which in turn rotates the crankshaft. Yeah, and people have pre-built gears for that. It's just not my taste. Not only do I not like mods, but I don't like having to download someone else's creation in order to use that mod. Which actually is... Yeah, there's so many things I don't like about that statement. So while this technically works, it's very inefficient. So there are some interesting things you could do with this. You could, in theory, make a infinitely variable transmission or infinitely variable engine, constantly trading torque for speed, or vice versa. In theory. So here, let me grab one of these. So here's the best one I've built, which is the 5. So, here you go, it's spinning. And like I said before, this is on a slant. So whenever it gets to a point, so whenever the sensor triggers, it basically wants to go to the lowest point on that slope. So I can increase this. And this can do a number of different things. It can basically increase and or decrease the torque, as well as the speed output. But it is a bit finicky. And in theory, I could change all that just by changing the angle of that bearing. Yeah, the whack engine was just a concept engine. It was just something I really wanted to make because they're actually quite small, even compared to like this inline here. They're relatively small. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that this inline 3 looks smaller than it is because you have all those moving components that have to go in a circle. So that 4-cylinder whack engine is actually, I would have to say, smaller than this 3-cylinder inline. And there's some discrepancies there, but for the most part. Can I make some lag machines? I have lag machines. Some of which aren't intentional lag machines. Like the Millennium Falcon lags. Oh, that's someone else's Millennium Falcon. This is my Millennium Falcon. You know what sucks when you can't tell someone how many blocks it's made of because the game just doesn't process the block count. Love it. Oh yeah, I can't physically spawn this here because it's too big. Ta-da! Once upon a time, this thing actually flew, but of course the game updated and changed things. Oh yeah, the Duke engine, I think that's what it was. Yeah, so that has a full interior. I'm not going to go inside of it because I really need to be ending this stream. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have been streaming for 3+ hours. With that being said... Oh no, KB, that won't fly because they changed things, and it just doesn't. So, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like. If you have suggestions, leave them in the comments down below. I've already done this outro, but I don't care. Anyway, I want to thank Captain Bob and Black Kitten for being members over on the channel and supporting me with that. Without any further ado, thanks for stopping by, thanks for sticking around, and until next time, peace. Wait. Even though I've kind of already done the outro, it's kind of a waste to do this, but I'm doing it anyway.